Okay guys, so I was actually trying to make this Deepwoken video a 3-part progression series on how good the Imperial Staff is, the legendary weapon, and how good it could be. But then when I hopped into PvP, and now I am rusty at Deepwoken. I have not played in a while. I only hopped on because, my friends wanted to hop on Deepwoken. So I hopped in PvP and, I did the best I could with the monsters I had. Regular build, M1s and everything. And I kept seeing something that really annoyed me. But before we do get closer into the video, we're here joined by Desirredd.
So,
And we're basically going to be discussing whether Deepwoken is worth it or not. Worth your 400 Robux or worth your time. Because time is more important than money. So, let me continue what I was saying in the beginning. I basically hopped in, and instead of seeing someone that wants to come close to me and basically fight or do any M1s whatsoever, I just saw basically mantra spamming. Like, I know you guys could say that mantra spamming is prominent already, but it's more like mantra setup. Do you know what I mean, Desirredd?
yeah, because nowadays the current PvP is basically whoever lands a mantra first wins, especially like with these new mantras that will guarantee you an M1. And compared to like pre-layer 2 where the gameplay was like more solidified with M1ing. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna speak objectively here as a day one Deepwoken player. There was objectively more M1 based fighting pre-layer 2 than post-layer 2.
Yeah.
Now, there's like pros and cons with it. Like obviously they did fix the long parry trades, but I feel like the gameplay just became more boring because it's more of a like who has like a better mantra combo build these days. Like,
That's true.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and all that. And also what you first said, where you said is Deepwoken worth getting into now for
Yeah.
400. At the moment, no, I don't think so. That is until Conquest gets released. I think it might be worth it if Conquest, well, not if, when Conquest gets released, because they teased a lot of cool stuff that I'm like interested in, but like with the current state of the game, no. I think the game is like a mess right now, and especially because the meta is constantly changing, which makes it even more confusing for new players to get into because of all these like quality of life updates they're doing, changes, buffs, nerfs. They've been doing a lot of those. I think the game is especially confusing right now since there's just so many different weapon types. There's literally like charisma legendary, willpower legendary. There's just all types of things right now
But
that even I'm confused about.
Desired, would you say though, like in layer 2, it's more harder obviously to get in, but do you think it's more harder to get in because of those weapon types or because of the mantra spammage first of all, and the high learning curve? Because in all honesty, all these people have to do is basically copy and paste a build, when within the previous layer 1, I'm not saying layer 1 was glorious or anything. Obviously Deepwoken was losing players. I enjoyed layer 1 really nicely. Layer 2, the early beginning of layer 2, I enjoyed very well
Good.
as well. Yeah, it was really good. Nothing much changed except for the combat. But now, I don't know if you guys remember, I don't know if you guys who are watching remembered, but there was actually a big problem with fire and ice before layer 2 released. And then when layer 2 released, they actually buffed fire and ice, and now those are within those spamming mantra combos where you literally don't even have to M1, you don't have to touch your opponent, you just have to stand at a distance. And that actually even moves on to my next point. It's the teleporting abilities. Like, there's just way too much teleporting abilities. Don't you agree, Desire?
Have you? Yeah, I can personally speak on that because you know what Soul Thorn is, right?
Yeah.
I have the new. I don't know if it's new actually. I'm a returning player, but I recently made a Soul Thorn build. It's technically a mythic weapon. I think. I don't think it counts as legendary, but it is so damn strong. At max stacks, if you critical, you literally like just teleport in front of them or behind them and just do like a barrage of attacks that's so hard to react to. So I can personally say there's like so much teleporting shenanigans now.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
And then on top of that, talking about Deepwoken itself, I don't know what's going on in Deepwoken. I really don't like keeping up with drama and stuff like that. But I have heard of the recent things that they've been doing, and in all honesty, in my previous videos about Deepwoken, I have said that Deepwoken is going downhill. Now, obviously, people won't see it like that now because of the numbers and the players they keep accruing, but those are just returning players for the time. How long will they be able to keep these, fluff updates coming out? Literally, I don't know if it's still there, but Ignition Deep Crusher did not have a description for, I think it still doesn't have a description when you hover over it. So that's how you know that these developers are basically rushing updates out and don't even care about the quality of the weapon or the balance of the weapon. I literally got the hardest armor? No, not the hardest armor, the most, I don't even know if it's the best armor anymore. But I got, what's his name? Deep Delver is probably not the best armor anymore. This guy did one fire mantra, and I'm literally almost 1 bar still, even with all the resistances. Almost 50% resistances, by the way. Which is crazy.
Yeah. I'd like to add on that they're doing pretty good with the updates, but I don't think they're focusing on the right thing. Like, they've been releasing like a lot of new weapons, legendary weapons especially. I honestly think there's too many legendaries right now.
Yeah.
I remember pre-layer 2, it was just curved and cripplet. And those, they were like solidified as legendary weapons. They felt legendary. I even made a video on my first time getting a legendary, which was in hell mode, curved bladed winds. That felt so good. But dude, it's like it's so easy to like get legendaries now.
Do one permadown.
You know what it feels like?
What?
This game, like, let me word it. Hold on, let me think. This game, it feels more like less hardcore survival. It feels more like sandbox,
Tycoon.
like tycoon,
Oh my gosh.
like
Simulator. Yep. Yeah.
I don't know how to. That's the best way I can describe it. Let me go more into it. Pre-layer 2, we had pre-layer 2. Actually, the game was actually hard. We didn't have much tools at our disposal. We just had to learn that game. No tutorial or anything. It was a much different game. Then they added layer 2. They wanted to spice things up. I think layer 2 was cool at the start, but they wanted layer 2 to be like this hard, enjoyable dungeon for everyone. Enjoyable for PvP and PvE players. It's not necessarily catered only to PvE players. It was supposed to be for everyone to enjoy, but then they made it kind of like weird because then they added like lantern backpacks that like remove your parasites and
yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
like sneakers that just make you immune to the wind.
And then the boots too. That don't. Yeah.
It's so unnecessary. It's like they're like, how do I explain it?
Pampering?
They're not double downing.
They're pampering yeah, that's true.
They're not double downing on their decision to make a hard mechanic. Well, not mechanic, new like dungeon / level. They're not double downing on it. They're just making it easier. Instead of just letting the players adapt to the actual dungeon, like learning how to face the wind and not fall off, and also learning time management in there too, like not dying to parasites. It just teaches you, like it just gives you that mindset, but it's just crazy now.
Yeah, that's true. I think the final point, I guess, this is not really scripted. Me and Desirredd are just going off of a whim here, actually. But I think the final thing that really is just annoying is not listening. Like, you literally can send them 1,000 videos of all of these problems, and they will just, I don't know, add a new legendary the next day. You know what I mean?
That is true, yeah.
Yeah, and the game's getting players, so they think they're doing everything right, I guess. But yeah, it's just tiring, going through these matches. Like, I'm rusty, like I said, but I'm not that rusty, and I know when something is off. You know what I mean? Character's HP should not be half health after 2 mantras or 1 M2. You know what I mean? It's like you're playing Sekiro on the hardest mode, or Ghost of Tsushima, right? On that one-shot mode. It's just really bad. And then I even heard you, Desirredd, talking about TikTok Deepwoken, like TikTok builds that people are just copy and pasting.
Yes, there's drone builds on TikTok. Um, can I also talk about something?
Yeah,
So they're releasing like legendaries and stuff, but my friend Quan brought up a good point on light weapon not really having much variety compared to like medium and heavy. But as I was saying, light technically has like 2 legendaries, Flare Blood Commas, but Flare Blood Commas is like in a weird spot. It doesn't really feel like a legendary, and then there's Light's Final Toll, which I don't consider a
that got
legendary.
gutted hard.
It got it. Wait, can you still enchant it or no? Were you able to enchant it before?
I don't know.
Yeah, you weren't. You can't do it anymore.
Wow.
But then it's not considered a legendary anymore. There's like there's like this
Airblade
weird
isn't
border
either.
because there's mythics and legendaries. The devs will like say, oh yeah, this isn't a legendary. This is a mythic. Like they'll change their mind at the last second. They did the
Makes you
same with
broke.
like Railblade. Apparently Railblade's not a legendary.
It's changeable, so it's not like a rare legendary anymore.
It's like they don't like double down on their decisions. They'll just change their mind at the last second.
Yeah.
So what else was I gonna say? What were you last talking about, Mix?
I was.
Oh wait, no, I know.
Okay.
I was gonna ask you, what do you think about skulls being removed from Chime?
It's just another pampering thing. Like, in all honesty, even though it does feel good that I don't get sent to the depths every 3 times, it's another, what's its name? It's a band-aid on a wound, like a big wound, because all these builds, right? They literally 3-tap you. So obviously being sent to the depths after being 3-tapped is not gonna feel good, but instead of actually fixing and balancing the problem, they just remove skulls. So it's kind of just nonsense at the end of the day, not knowing how to balance. In my opinion, I think the devs that started working on Deepwoken are definitely not working on Deepwoken anymore. They just seem like commissioned scripters, in my
They have new
opinion.
developers. I'm pretty sure that Blade Ball looking legendary was made like by like a standalone developer that wasn't part of the team.
Wow. And then they got an ABA dev too, which is fine, but like now it literally feels like ABA. I'm just pressing abilities. Not me, the enemy opponent is just pressing abilities and doing uppercut and pressing abilities. Like, it's not ABA, you know what I mean? But yeah, I guess you could call this a rant if you want to, guys. It's more of a reality check that if you are planning on playing Deepwoken, the resounding answer is definitely going to be no, because you are probably going to waste a good amount of time. Like, if you have time to waste, I guess you can hop on this game. But in honesty, I think you'd have better time hopping on games like Voxel Blade or what other game? Or I don't know, just honing your skills somewhere else. Maybe read a book or something. But honestly, unless you yourself want to become one of these copycat builds, just spamming mantras and I guess getting a high off of doing, half a bar. I mean, no, half HP in one auto. I guess keep playing the game or start playing the game. I don't know what else to say. But in my opinion, don't get the game now. What's your opinion, Desirredd?
My opinion is don't get the game right now, but my opinion could change when Conquest is released, as I did say previously, because apparently that's gonna be a huge update with like lots of quality of life features, new oaths, apparently Blood Run too, or whatever you call it, some new blood attunement, and other things and whatnot, but at the current moment, I don't think it's worth it. Even though it does have good content, it's just in a weird place right now. I also recommend do not play alone and play with friends, preferably.
Yeah.
But if you do decide to get the game, but yeah, that's my opinion.
But also, Desirredd, with Conquest, if they don't change how, you know, the mantra spamming is, would Conquest even still be enjoyable?
Well, I think Conquest is gonna work like I think it's gonna be a bit similar to Battle Royale where like you make your build in Conquest, I'm pretty sure. Like you start from 0 in Conquest. I don't think you can bring existing builds to Conquest. I could be wrong.
Okay.
I'm just going off of what Agamantu said. There was like a teaser Conquest a while back.
Okay.
But
But
yeah,
I guess that's all we got for now. So yeah, if you guys found this helpful, I guess. I mean, it's up to you in the end if you want to get this game or not. Don't listen to the video if you yourself are already dead set on getting the game. But at the end of the day, make sure you guys do subscribe to me and Desirredd. So you know when we post another video, I guess. I really was trying to make this 3-part series, but I just didn't feel good posting a 3-part series that would be like really bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like the video so other people can see it, and comment down below if you got this far. Is it worth it? And make sure to, most importantly, have a great day, guys, and see you guys within the next video.